TV. Tonight it's a rematch of the 2012 East Region Championship match, the Beacons and the Bowdoin University Polar Bears. Should be a good one here at the Clark. Beacons 16-6 coming off a 2-2 weekend at their own invitational. Bowdoin 13-5 on the year and 4-3 in the NESCAC. We'll take a look at the team statistics. You can see how these teams match up. Pretty similar numbers. Bowdoin hits very well offensively with that .232 hitting percentage, but the Beacons are a bit better of a defensive team. But it has the feeling of a match that should be pretty close. Both these teams, again, have had a lot of NCAA tournament history, and 2 years ago played in the East Region Championship. Team leaders for each of these clubs will start for UMass Boston, looking at Julia Murphy, who has been so good offensively, even with Patsy Boland out for a bit with an injury. Boland is back, but Murphy has carried the load. That .320 hitting percentage is really out of this world. And for Bowdoin, watch Christy Jewett on the outside. She is tremendous. 234 kills through 18 games. She averages close to 15 kills a game. Well, mention these teams have met back in 2012. We'll take a look at the all-time series, which includes that matchup. It's very close, 5-4 all-time, but that last one was the big one. November 11th, 2012, when the Beacons found a way to beat Bowdoin and advance to the NCAA overall quarterfinals after winning the East Region. Let's take a look back at that match from a couple of years ago when the Beacons beat Bowdoin in 2012. So that was back in 2012. Beacons repeated as East Region champs last year as well. They've won 3 of the last 4 East Regions. Today, if the Beacons want to get a big win against this Bowdoin squad, might really rely on Patsy Boland, the sophomore from Chicago, Illinois, who's back from injury. Patsy Boland, second team All-Little East last year, 118 kills this year. Did miss a couple of weeks, 5 matches overall, but played over the weekend and had a good performance with 9 kills against Colby Sawyer. Take a look at the starting lineups. We'll start with Bowdoin. Polar Bears out of Brunswick, Maine in the NESCAC. You watch offensively, Christy Jewett, number 17, one of the outside hitters, leads the team with 234 kills. And then Erica Sclaver, the middle blocker, hits it .317. Bowdoin's 13-5 on the year and 4-3 in the NESCAC. And now let's let the Beacon starters introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Pepper Baker. I'm a sophomore setter from the oh-so-classy Tallahassee, Florida, and I went to Leon High School.
Hi, I'm Bree Souza. I'm a junior middle blocker from Swansea, Massachusetts.
Hi, my name is Blair Boyer. I'm a junior hitter from Encinitas, California.
Hi, I'm Julia Murphy. I'm a sophomore hitter from Canton, Massachusetts.
Hi, my name is Emma Roca, and I'm a junior setter from Boynton Beach, Florida, and I went to Pope John Paul II High School.
I'm Elizabeth Glavin, sophomore libero from Edina, Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Jody Munchback. I'm a sophomore hitter from Dedham, Massachusetts.
16-6 UMass Boston, 13-5 Bowdoin. Coming up in just a bit here on LittleEast.tv.
My name is Allie Greenberg. I'm an ice hockey player here. I'm a junior majoring in human services, and I'm part of the Key for Hope Foundation. We recycle the keys and stock food pantries with the money. I wanted to bring this foundation to the athletic department, and I believe we can end hunger starting at UMass Boston. I got started with the Key for Hope Foundation due to my father. He's the one who founded this program.
I said, what can I do with a classroom environment giving back? And everybody's got an old key, and keys are made of brass, and brass is a recyclable commodity. And thinking about how many children are in a school system and how far we can go with taking this to do something right for humanity, I started a foundation called Key for Hope, feeding others with the collecting of keys. In 2.5 years, we collected over 500,000 keys. And I'm excited about this whole opportunity because you know what? One key may not seem like much to most people, but when you collect the masses of keys that we've collected, it shows that there is an ability for people to get together and create what I'm considering our hunger fighting opportunity.
Come on, Jake.
As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal Layden. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
Back here at the Clark Athletic Center, getting set for a good non-conference matchup between UMass Boston and Bowdoin. Rematch of 2 years ago's East Region Championship game. Let's take a look at the keys to today's match. For the Beacons, it starts with refocusing after a 2-2 weekend at their own invitational. They didn't play their best volleyball over the weekend, so look to get back down to action, cleaning up service errors and some of the other mistakes the Beacons had throughout that 2-2 weekend. Meanwhile, we noticed creating a hostile environment. Bowdoin has struggled on the road. They're 4-2 at home, 7-0 at neutral locations, but just 2-3 away from their home up in Brunswick, Maine. Beacons, meanwhile, are 9-2 here at the Clark. Well, we'll get underway as soon as we come back here on LittleEast.tv, Beacons and Bowdoin.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown, and it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey, and that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded
Sure, yeah, we can bring that back right now.
at a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
UMass Boston and Bowdoin getting set in a non-conference battle that's coming up. First, let's take a look back at the win against Colby Sawyer over the weekend. And with that, we're set for action tonight. A 2012 NCAA East Regional Championship rematch between the Bowdoin Polar Bears out of the NESCAC and the UMass Boston Beacons out of the Little East. Bill Spalding happy to be with you here from the Clark Athletic Center on LittleEast.tv. UMass Boston 16-6 on the year, but looking to bounce back from a subpar showing at their own invitational over the weekend. 2-2 record over the weekend, including straight set losses to Trine and Roger Williams. They did beat Emerson and Colby Sawyer 3-2 in each match. Meanwhile, Bowdoin's coming in off a 3-1 NESCAC win over Hamilton over the weekend. Bowdoin's 13-5 this year, 4-3 in the NESCAC. Last year they were 23-7 and had their season ended in the NESCAC championship in a loss to Williams, a team that the Beacons beat on their way back to the NCAA tournament quarterfinals last year. It's UMass Boston in white, Bowdoin in black. Bowdoin's been working on different liberos all year. Today, right side hitter Katie Doherty wearing the white jersey number 5 as the libero for Bowdoin. And Bowdoin will serve first to get this underway with the setter Quincy Leach. That's a great serve right off the bat. Free ball coming for Bowdoin. Here's a swing off the block. That was Sclaver. In the center, bad set. And Souza can't get there. So point one goes to Bowdoin off the set error from Emma Roca, who was the Little East Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. Another service for Leach into the net, and we're even at 1. First service of the game for the Beacons, and Jody Munchbach, sophomore from nearby Dedham, is a real defensive specialist on this club, and her offensive game's coming along as well. Good first service for the Beacons. And that's a point off the lift. Well, the service game is a real area of focus for co-head coaches Terry Condon and Mike Houlihan coming into today's game. Beacons really struggled with service errors over the weekend. Munchbach again. Good delivery. In the center, Sclaver slams it down. First kill for either side. Even at 2, just underway. Beacons are 9-2 here at the Clark this year. Bowdoin's just 2-3 on the road. Great set. Baker gets a swing and puts it away. Somehow Roca got it up for Baker just by sticking her arm out there. And Pepper Baker, sophomore from Tallahassee, Florida, gets the kill. Here's the Beacons All-American libero Elizabeth Glavin with the serve. First swing for Christy Jewett is blocked. Beacons scramble to get it over. Quick for Sclaver. Dig for Glavin. Blair Boyer for the Beacons. And Bowdoin's into the net. So the Beacons get another point. 2 in a row. It's a 4-2 UMass Boston lead early on. Clavin's a sophomore from Medina, Minnesota. Good service. A slam in the center for Murphy, and she puts it down on the joust. There's the Beacons' leading killer, Julia Murphy. 236 of them on the year, and she's hitting .320. Jewett the swing, and she's stuffed down. Murphy and Baker combine on the block. 4-0 Beacons run. Look of consternation from Karen Corey, the ninth-year head coach on the Bowdoin bench. Tap over from Haley Wall. Murphy in the middle, puts it away for the Beacons. It's 5 straight points for UMass Boston. Up after a slow weekend, Beacons coming out strong here in set 1 with a 5-point lead. And there's a Beacons service error. First service error of the game for UMass Boston. They were in double figures in their 4 matches over the weekend here at the Beacons Invitational. Allows 5'10" sophomore Katie Doherty to serve for Bowdoin. In the center, Boyer taps it over and puts it away. Wasn't the most textbook set, but Boyer finds a place to stick it. It's 8-3 Beacons. Bowdoin out of Brunswick, Maine, about 30 or 45 minutes outside of the capital of Portland along the ocean. Pepper Baker's service is just played up. Here's Jewett. Big dig, Glavin. Munch back from the back. Jewett again. Munch back the dig. Baker over on 2. Jewett for a 3rd time, and Glavin digs it. Poor pass, and the Beacons surrender a point. 8-4 UMass Boston. Bowdoin, like most of the NESCAC schools, though, a small private institution, just 1,775 students currently enrolled at Bowdoin. UMass Boston, meanwhile, has around 16,000. Baker the set. Boyer cuts it down. The finesse play. She spun it off her hand and slammed it away. 5-point lead for the Beacons on Blair Boyer's 2nd kill. 150 kills now on the year for Boyer. Already 100 more than she had as a sophomore. That lick from Dana Williams is dug out by Boyer. Tight set. And UMass Boston's into the net. So give Bowdoin the point. It's 9-5 here in set 1. Beacons had an early 5-0 run, and that's been the difference so far through this first set. Murphy taps it over. Free ball coming for the Beacons. Glavin bumps it. Here's Morrison. Big dig, Doherty. But miscommunication from Bowdoin, and that falls. 10-5 UMass Boston. Beacons beat this Bowdoin club last year, or 2 years ago rather, in the NCAA East Regional. Now Bowdoin's taken a timeout, so as they step aside, we'll take a break as well. 10-5 UMass Boston in set 1 here on LittleEast.tv.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Good start for UMass Boston tonight in a non-conference matchup against Bowdoin. Beacons lead 10-5 here in the first set at the Clark Athletic Center. Glad to have you with us here on LittleEast.tv. Beacons beat this Bowdoin club a couple of years ago. It was a 3-2 win in the East Region Championship. UMass Boston's won 3 of the last 4 East Region championships, but Bowdoin's one of the better teams in the East Region as well. Missed out on the NCAA tournament last year at 23-7. But in a tough conference like the NESCAC, Bowdoin's got another very good shot to get back this year. Here's Julia Murphy's service for the Beacons. Jewett is stuffed. And the point to the Beacons. 11-5 after the block in the center there. Bree Souza got a piece of it. Murphy's rattled off a couple in a row off her service, and here she is again. Swing for Albright, dug out on the back line. Morrison taps it over. And a flat-footed kill for Christy Jewett from the center of that defensive formation. Looked like the Beacons thought she'd send a free ball over, but she found some hardwood. Second kill for Christy Jewett, still a 5-point Beacon lead. Baker the set. Here's a swing for Patsy Boland, dug out. And Bowdoin gets the point. Beacons can't scramble for it. Boland in for the first time today out of that timeout, and she looked good, even nursing that injured leg. Flew well into that swing. Here's Boland again. Bang! Huge kill for Boland. Comes off her hand a little bit different. 12-7 Beacons. Emma Roca to serve for UMass Boston. Tight set. And into the net goes the setter Leach, who tried to save that one. So the Beacons get the point. 2 in a row to put them back up 6. UMass Boston 16-6 on the year. Bowdoin 13-5. 2 of the better teams in the East Region. Michelle Albright is dug out on the back. Great play by Boyer. Bowl in the swing, and it's a kill. The defense from Boyer gives Boland that chance, and the sophomore from Chicago didn't miss it. Biggest lead of the match so far, a 7-point set 1 lead. Roca delivers. In the center, Sclaver just drilled that down, but she's in the net. So the point goes to the Beacons after the set took Sclaver in too tight. 8-point lead for UMass Boston. Roca again. Touch from Sclaver's blocked. A dump on 2, and the Beacons can't keep it alive. Really smart work there by the backup setter for Bowdoin. It was Claire McInerney who tapped it over. Roca sets it up, and Boland gets the point. So the Beacons take another point and build an 8-point lead, 16-8. Jody Munchback comes on to serve. Boland goes to the bench after a really good rotation up top. Munchbach into the net. Well, if you're keeping tabs at home, that's the second Beacon service error. That was one of our keys to the game today. Beacon's trying to clean up on those errors. Luckily, so far for UMass Boston, those 2 service errors have been the only errors the Beacons have had all game. Serve from Albright. In the center, it's a set error. So Baker sets it over the top of Souza and hands another point to Bowdoin. 2 in a row for the Polar Bears, still down 6. Set from Roca. Swing for Boyer. Kept alive. Here's Jewett. Off the block and down. And Bowdoin scored 3 in a row. Third kill of set 1 for Christy Jewett. Gives her 237 on the year. Tough serve. Beacons keep it alive. But Baker's swatted down. Jewett gets the solo block there. And Coach Condon wants time for the Beacons. 4 in a row for Bowdoin. Has turned this first set into a 4-point set. Beacon 16, Bowdoin 12 on LittleEast.tv.
My name's Allie Greenberg. I'm an ice hockey player here. I'm a junior, majoring in human services, and I'm part of the Key for Hope Foundation. We recycle the keys and stock food pantries with the money. I wanted to bring this foundation to the athletic department, and I believe we can end hunger starting at UMass Boston. I got started with the Key for Hope Foundation due to my father. He's the one who founded this program.
I said, what can I do with a classroom environment giving back? And everybody's got an old key, and keys are made of brass, and brass is a recyclable commodity. And thinking about how many children are in a school system and how far we can go with taking this to do something right for humanity, I started a foundation called Key for Hope, feeding others with the collecting of keys. In 2.5 years, we collected over 500,000 keys. And I'm excited about this whole opportunity because you know what? One key may not seem like much to most people, but when you collect the masses of keys.
And we're back here at the Clark Athletic Center. Beacons lead by 4, but Bowdoin scored 4 in a row. Out of the timeout, Boyer taps it over. Flat-footed kill for Albright, dug out. Roca the dump. In the center, Sclaver has it blocked. Beacons swing again. A joust, and the Beacons are over the net. Souza reached out right over the tape. 5 in a row for Bowdoin, and all of a sudden, what was a comfortable lead all set long is down to just 3 points. Here's Michelle Albright, freshman from Los Altos, California. Roca sets. Boyer swings. And into the net goes Bowdoin. So the Beacons end the 5-0 run and build a 4-point lead here in the first set. Elizabeth Glavin to serve for UMass Boston. In the center, Sclaver puts it down off the block. Murphy got a piece, but not enough. And Sclaver has her second kill. Sclaver averages close to 3 kills a set and hits better than .320. Roca, tough set, and that's blocked right down in the center. Boyer's swing rejected by Claire Gayer. Bowdoin has 7 of the last 8 points, and it is a 2-point Beacon lead late in set 1. Service from Doherty. Roca sets. Murphy swings. What a dig by Albright. Here's Jewett, and she's got another kill. 9 of 10 for the Polar Bears. Chance to tie here for Bowdoin. But that's a service error. Could swing the momentum here. First service error for Bowdoin. Beacons lead back to 2 after a 9-1 Bowdoin run. Here comes Pepper Baker with a big service opportunity. And that's a good one. Jewett the swing. There's a dig for Boyer. Munch back from the back line. Here's Jewett again, off the block. Beacons keep it alive. Jewett for a third time. Dig for Glavin. Here's Boyer. And she can't get it over. Needed a couple more inches on it. Bowdoin has crawled to within 1 again. Just 11 points ago, the Beacons led 16-8. At 18-17, the service from McInerney. Baker into the net, and Bowdoin's come all the way back. 12 of the last 14 points for the Polar Bears. McInerney, another service. Baker sets, and Murphy mishits it right into the net. Looked like a good set from Pepper Baker, too. And for the first time all set, Bowdoin has a lead. Beacons want time once more. Well, Bowdoin scored 13 of 15. Beacons have some work to do here in set 1 on LittleEast.tv.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Well, this has the feel of one of those objects in your rear view mirror or closer than they appear type of sets. Beacons thought they were cruising down the highway up 16-8. But here comes Bowdoin, 13 of the last 15 points to the Polar Bears, and they've overtaken the Beacons, 19-18, heading down the back stretch of set 1. Bill Spalding, glad to be with you here on LittleEast.tv. UMass Boston, 16-6 on the year, but went just 2-2 over the weekend in the Beacon Invitational. Bowdoin's 13-5 on the season, looking to exact some revenge from 2 years ago's NCAA East Regional Championship, where the Beacons beat the Polar Bears. Still plenty of holdovers on this Bowdoin club as well. Easy setup, and Jewett gets her 4th kill. So the timeout doesn't stop the momentum. 14 of 16 points for the Polar Bears. This would be a gut punch for the Beacons if they see this set 1 go all the way the other way. Morrison taps it over. Dump on 2, and McInerney was perfect with it. Polar Bears are on fire, up 3. They've turned this set around 11 points. Boyer had to stutter step, couldn't get a clean hit. Off a tough set. It's a great swing by Williams. From the back line, Albright has it dug by Munchback. Morrison can't put it away. Here's Jewett. 5 kills for Jewett. It's now 16 of 18 points. Here's Boyer off the block. Bowdoin rolling here. 5 in a row as well. Morrison gets a tap on it. Jewett swings and misses wide. She was trying to get it off the Beacon block, but the arm stayed down. So UMass Boston ends what was a 5-0 run and a 16-2 run. Still some work to do, though, down 3 late in set 1. Service for Blair Boyer. The back set, Jewett's dug out. Great play by Boyer. Patsy Boland taps it over. In the center, a stuff block. That's big for Murphy. Murphy just flat out denied Claire Geyer. Second block of this set for Julia Murphy. Little East co-offensive player and rookie of the year last year. There's another big service error. Beacons struggled with them all weekend, and here down late, Boyer serves it over. 3rd service error of set 1. So now Bowdoin's just 2 points away from winning this first set. Jewett's serve is tough, and Glavin has to play a free ball over. Murphy taps and puts it away. Not the easiest set again, but Murphy has those extendo arms that she can move in any direction. Tapped it over. Beacons back within 2. Murphy goes back to serve here. Beacons cannot afford another service error. Murphy gets this one in. Swing for Albright. It's long, and the Beacons are back within 1. So UMass Boston's been up by as much as 8. Down by as much as 5, and now the Beacons are back within 1 here in this first set as Bowdoin takes time on LittleEast.tv.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
at a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
(23-22), Bowdoin leads UMass Boston. It's been a seesaw first set. Beacons jumped out to an early lead with a 5-0 run. Lead just got bigger midway through the set. It was 16-8. But then Bowdoin scored 14 of 16, went on a 5-0 run. Bowdoin was leading 23-19. Beacons, though, have scored 3 in a row to pull back to within one, 23-22. Brianna Kemp subs in out of the timeout to take this service in place of Julia Murphy. Huge service out of the break. Here it comes from the freshman from Red Bluff, California. Jewett just has to put it over from the back line. Baker sets. Patsy Boland puts it down, and we're tied in set 1. 4 in a row for the Beacons here to knot things up. Up by as much as 8, down by as much as 5 in this wild and crazy first set. Albright puts it off the Beacon block, and Bowdoin has a chance to complete the comeback with a set point. Beacons need the side out as Claire Geyer, the sophomore from Mill Valley, California, serves for the set. Swing for Morrison. It's kept alive. Albright for the set. Can't put it away. Morrison again. And she gets the kill. Slammed it hard off of Geyer and out. 24 all, set 1 will require extra points. Emma Roca with a big Beacon service coming here. Set to the center, Sclaver is blocked. Pepper Baker for the Beacons has it stuffed back down. Set point coming once more for Bowdoin. That was pretty aggressive block there by Dana Williams and Erica Sclaver in the center. Now Quincy Leach, sophomore from Durham, North Carolina, is serving for the set. At 25-24. Roca sets for Boland. And she knots things back up again. Patsy Boland's looked good in limited playing time, coming back from injury. It's her 3rd kill of set 1. Beacons being very conservative with her as she goes back to the bench, not trying to rush her back from the knee injury. Here's Jody Munchbach. Swing for Haley Wall off the block and over. Roca goes for the dump. Wall again. Beacons keep it alive with Baker. In the center, Sclaver. And the Beacons miss hit on the set. An easy slam for Sclaver in the center. Roca missed Souza. Bowdoin gets its 3rd set point. Albright delivers again. Roca the set. Tap over from Boyer, kept alive. Boyer goes finesse. Here's Jewett for the set. Big dig Munchbach. Wall is rejected. Breeze Souza. And on we go here in set 1. Second block of the set for Souza. 26 all in a set that's seen UMass Boston lead by as much as 8. It's also seen the Beacons trail by as much as 5. Here's Elizabeth Glavin. Big swing from Jewett is dug. Murphy is long, but off the block. So the point goes to the Beacons. The linesman rule that caught just a tip. Beacons get their first set point with Glavin serving. Jewett goes finesse, and we're tied at 27. So we've had 4 set points. Neither side's been able to put it away. Marathon first set here, already 32 minutes deep. Service for Katie Doherty. Beacons swing in the center, and Doherty gets the dig. Another swing for Murphy, and she kills it. That's easy for Julia Murphy right in the center. 28-27, set point number 2 for UMass Boston. Pepper Baker serving for the set. Jewett is stuffed. The finesse tap is out, and the Beacons survive set 1. 29-27, UMass Boston takes the first set. Better strap yourselves in for a good one here. Second set coming up on LittleEast.tv.
My name is Allie Greenberg. I'm an ice hockey player here. I'm a junior, majoring in human services, and I'm part of the Key for Hope Foundation. We recycle the keys and stock food pantries with the money. I wanted to bring this foundation to the athletic department, and I believe we can end hunger starting at UMass Boston. I got started with the Key for Hope Foundation due to my father. He's the one who founded this program.
I said, what can I do with a classroom environment giving back? And everybody's got an old key, and keys are made of brass, and brass is a recyclable commodity. And thinking about how many children are in a school system and how far we can go with taking this to do something right for humanity, I started a foundation called Key for Hope, feeding others with the collecting of keys. In 2.5 years, we collected over 500,000 keys. And I'm excited about this whole opportunity because you know what? One key may not seem like much to most people, but when you collect the masses of keys that we've collected, it shows that there is an ability for people to get together and create what I'm considering our hunger fighting opportunity.
Come on, Jake.
As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal Layden. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
Well, UMass Boston wins a marathon. Set number 1, 29-27, a set that saw the Beacons lead by 8, then trail by 5, before they fought off 3 set points to win set 1 against Bowdoin in a rematch of the Beacons' win in the 2012 East Regional Championship. Let's take a look around Beaconville. Plenty of action going on today, including a 5-1 win for the men's soccer team over Salve Regina. Women's soccer is also just about set to go, taking on Endicott College, 7 p.m. tonight. And women's tennis got a big win today, 8-1 in the non-conference finale against Curry College. Now back here at the Clark Athletic Center, Beacons survive that marathon first set, 29-21, in a set that took 32 minutes. Beacons were led by 5 kills from Patsy Boland on 7 swings. That means she was hitting 7-14. 4 kills for Blair Boyer and 4 more for Julia Murphy. Meanwhile, Bowdoin was led by 7 kills from Christy Jewett, but it took her 20 swings to get there. Beacons hit 233 in set 1. Bowdoin hit just 111. UMass Boston in the white, Bowdoin in the black. We're set for set 2 with Emma Roken leading us off, serving for the Beacons. junior from Boynton Beach, Florida, starts the set with a service error. A fourth of this match already for the Beacons. Been a huge issue for them all year, just giving away free points off the services. Michelle Albright for Bowdoin. Roca sets it up, and Munchbach slams it down. That's Jody Munchbach's first kill. Beacons get on the board here in set 2. And Munchbach back to serve. She's been good today from that back line. Set in the center. Beacons keep it alive. Baker. What a dig by Doherty. Here's Boyer off the block. Jewett can't put it away, but the Beacons can't keep it alive. So Jewett gets the roundabout kill there, her 8th to lead all scorers tonight. Brings us back to Katie Doherty to serve. Baker the tap, and she gets the kill. Pepper Baker goes finesse and finds a hole. That's Baker's second kill on 6 swings. She also has 2 errors early on. And Glavin gets the ace. 30th ace of the season for the sophomore Elizabeth Glavin, who was the Little East Defensive Player of the Year last year. Another one from the Beacon libero. It's a bad set, but it gets over the net. Don't even think it caught Jewett on the way through. That tight set carried. Beacons didn't pick it up. Murphy off the block. And there's a kill for Jewett, number 9. Neither side's led by more than 1 here early on in set 2. So the service comes for Haley Wall. Blair Boyer finds a hole in the defense and gets the kill. 5th kill for Boyer on 14 swings. Beacons cycle out Roca and bring in Morrison to play the middle. So you got Morrison and Murphy up top for UMass Boston as Pepper Baker serves. It's a great set, but the Beacons get the block. It's off the block and down. Jewett has her 10th kill already early in set 2. Christy Jewett, who averages about 17 kills a match, is in the double figures. Give some credit to Quincy Leach on that set, diving to the hardwood as well. Baker sets it up, and in between Morrison and Murphy. It's a second set error for Pepper Baker today. And for the first time all set, somebody has a 2-point lead. That somebody is Bowdoin, as here's Jewett's serve. And Baker can't keep it alive, and Bowdoin goes up a quick 3. Beacons won the first set 29-27. Bowdoin coming out strong here in the second set. Here's Jewett, junior from California. And she's long on the serve. Second service error on Bowdoin. Gives the Beacons the service back, down 2. Look at that swing. What a kill by Albright. Perfect set, and she hammered it down. Back to a 3-point lead for the Polar Bears. Out of the NESCAC, 4-3 on the season in NESCAC play. NESCAC, one of the better conferences in the Northeast. There's a service error again, back-to-back service errors. That one from Geyer. Bowdoin beat Roger Williams earlier this year, too. A very good win for Bowdoin. Polar Bears started the season 8-0. They have lost 5 of their last 10 as the Beacons respond with a service error. That was Murphy Long getting a little sloppy here in this second set. In the outside, Morrison can't tap it over. And Bowdoin goes up 4, largest lead of set 2 for the Polar Bears. Well, we saw in the first set, no lead was safe. Beacons led by 8. Saw Bowdoin come all the way back to lead by 5 as there's another service error. That one on Leach. Bowdoin led by 5 late. Beacons scored 5 in a row to get back into it, and then eventually won 29-27 in set 1. Here comes a service from Emma Roca. It's a great serve. Sclaver, though, taps it over. She reached up and just tipped that one. Got enough to find a hole. Great kill by Sclaver, who was pretty quiet in set 1. It's Sclaver's 4th kill of the match, and it brings us a timeout by UMass Boston. 11-7. Beacons trail in set 2 here on LittleEast.tv.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Beacons won the first set 29-27, but here at the Clark Athletic Center, Bowdoin has responded well in set 2, forcing an early UMass Boston timeout. Bowdoin Polar Bears down from Brunswick, Maine, about 2.5 hours north, up 93, then 95. Guess you could cut across Route 1 if you wanted to. Bowdoin's 13-5 on the year, Beacons 16-6. These two teams played 2 years ago in the NCAA East Region Championship. Beacons won there. They've won 2 East Region Championships in a row. Patsy Boland's blocked and give the point to Bowdoin. Rule that Bowdoin did not make contact and Boland instead sent it in the net. 5-point lead for the Polar Bears in the second set. Michelle Albright, though, answers back with a service error. Her second of this set, the 4th of this set for the Polar Bears, which means half of the Beacons' points this set have come off service errors. Could be a little bit uglier of a scoreline. Jody Munchbach's delivery catches the tape. Jewett through the block, and Glavin digs it. Blair Boyer has it stuffed and out off of Boyer on the way back. Well, even though Bowdoin has struggled to get its serves in this set, they have not struggled to side out. Bowdoin has sided out every single time but one. Beacons just have to dump it over. Jewett has it dug. Boyer the swing off the block. And Bowdoin's called into the net. So give the Beacons the point. It's back to a 4-point lead. See if the Beacons can score on their service for just the second time this set. Down 13-9. Jewett once more. Glavin the dig. Roca keeps it alive. Here come the Beacons again. Boyer into the net. The side-out streak continues for the Polar Bears. Happy to trade points here, up 5 at about the midway point of this second set. Another service error, the 5th of this set. Haley Wall's first. Well, Bowdoin certainly keeps opening the door for the Beacons with the service errors. Beacons now just need to capitalize. It's Pepper Baker's turn to serve. Jewett plays a free ball over. Kirsten Morrison off the block. That's into the net and give the Beacons the point. Finally, they avoid the side out. Scratching and clawing, the Beacons are back within 3. They were down 5 in that first set, came back to win 29-27. They've already been down 5 this set as well. Here's Baker again. Great service. Another free ball coming for UMass Boston. Baker sets. Murphy swings. Jewett has it batted right back down. An emphatic rejection by Kirsten Morrison. Beacons score 3 in a row. One was sitting on a tee for Morrison, and we have a timeout called by Bowdoin. Beacons getting right back into this one, down 2 in set 2, but leading 1 set to love on LittleEast.tv.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
And we're back here on LittleEast.tv. Beacons have scored 3 in a row to force a Bowdoin timeout and pull to within 2 in this second set after the Beacons won a marathon 29-27, set 1. Joined by Beacon Sports Information Director Seth Arensky. Bill Spalding here with you. Seth, it was a pretty crazy first set riding the seesaw, and it feels like we're starting to do that again here in set 2.
Yeah, well, in set 1, it was UMass Boston who took the huge lead and then had to watch Bowdoin come all the way back and almost take the set. Now it's Bowdoin with the big lead, and it slipped down to 2.
Set up for Jewett. She's stuffed. Beacon block starting to get over to her. In the center, that's wide, off Claire Geyer's right arm. Well, Jewett had 10 early kills, up to 10 kills, a couple points into this set, but the Beacons have since adjusted well.
Yeah, UMass Boston has done a nice job on her defensively. They've improved on the middle. Some of the setting has been the issue thus far, and the defense still needs to get better.
Baker's service knots things up. 5 in a row for UMass Boston. And the Beacons have played well, but Bowdoin has opened the door with some errors here in this second set. 5 service errors, a couple hitting errors, and that return bungled by the libero Doherty. And again, they struggle on the return. Beacons are all the way back in front with 6 in a row.
Well, Pepper Baker's one of those players who struggle with her service errors this year, but she has one of the better serves where she struggles because she's taking chances, and right there, back-to-back service aces, that's what she can do for UMass Boston.
She's one of those players that when she's on can be so hard to return. Another error on the set by Leach. Wheels coming off quickly here for the Polar Bears. Beacon's lead is 2 for the first time all set. Beacons had only led once in this set, and that was at 3-2.
Well, and UMass Boston has struggled a lot with mental errors in this match and all season long, and now it looks like Bowdoin is struggling from the same issues, not their physical play, but just their inability to make the right decisions. Jewett
taps that one off Morrison and down. So 12 kills now for Christy Jewett. Though it's taken her a lot of swings. She has those 12 kills on 30-plus swings. So Beacons are making her work for it.
It's a scary rate if this match were to go 5.
Another look for Boyer. Jewett from the back. And she clips the back line. Got the angle and the tip on that one to tie things up at 16.
That was a perfectly placed shot. Nothing the Beacons defense could do about it. It was the right decision to let it go. Just a little bit of luck for Jewett.
And she's right back into the net. That's the 6th service error of set 2 for Bowdoin. But the Beacons are grateful to finally see that going the other way.
Yeah, well, the two teams combined for 0 aces and 5 service errors in the first set. I'm sure neither coach was happy with their side from the service line, and that's just continuing. Both of these teams have the potential to be very, very good. Right now, I think neither side thinks that they're playing that well, not just in this match, but as of the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Dig for Patsy Boland, who's looked good in her return from injury this past week. Haley Wall puts it off a tap and out. give the point to Bowdoin. Cynthia mentioned neither team coming in playing their best. Beacons split their 4 games over the weekend in the Beacon Invitational, and Bowdoin, after starting 8-0, is just 5-5 in its last 10.
And that includes a 3-set loss to Keene State College. And no offense to a fellow Little East Conference team, but Keene State College is not where they necessarily were a year ago when they were the Little East Conference defending champs. A 3-2 loss at Middlebury College, a team UMass Boston saw. In fact, Bill, I think you might have been on the call with me. That Middlebury College team, good, but nowhere near the level of a top team in New England. And that went 5 sets, and it didn't go the Polar Bears' way.
Beacons trying to make it 2 points in a row. Here's Morrison. What a dig. Great play by Doherty. Baker sets. Bowl in the swing. It's stuffed. Free ball coming. Great setup and easy finish for Sclaver. How about that set by Quincy Leach to tee her up perfectly?
A perfect hit. A lot of miscommunication on the Beacon side. One player calling for it, another player hitting it. And both of these teams just have to be a little bit crisper, a little bit more precise on their passing.
Morrison plays it off a tap. Bowdoin scrambles and can't keep it in. Give the Beacons the point. 19-18 as we're coming down to the wire again after a first set that went to 29-27 between these two clubs.
Yeah, the defense is what's been keeping Bowdoin in it outside of Jewett. Doherty coming off of a career match against Hamilton with those 40 digs, and she's playing just as well today.
In the center, an easy kill for Sclaver. Seems like her and Leach all of a sudden have something going as the Beacons block has moved outside to focus on Jewett. Beacons trailed by as much as 5 in this set, have led by as much as 2. Tight set for Boland, and she's into the net. Bowdoin goes on top again. Important service for Michelle Albright. Roca sets. Stuff block in the center, and it's down. Jewett was in there to help out with Haley Wall. Beacons want time. Down 21-19 as Bowdoin's scored 4 of the last 5 points. Exciting conclusion coming up on LittleEast.tv.
Come on, Jake. As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal laid it. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
(21-19). 2-point lead for Bowdoin late in set 2. Beacons, though, saw themselves down 23-19 in set 1 and came back to win that set 29-27 with Seth Thorensky, Bill Spalding here. Got another tight finish. These two teams seem very evenly matched through the first 2 sets. Michelle Albright to serve. Big swing from Boland. It's kept alive. Jewett has another kill. Up to 15 kills for the leading hitter on this tremendous Bowdoin club. 3-point lead again for the Polar Bears. Great service from Albright. Baker slams one down. Bowdoin keeps it alive and doesn't get enough juice on the free ball. Albright's had a rough set. She has 3 service errors this set, and that was just a routine play to get the ball over the net.
Well, Bill, if you're UMass Boston, your biggest hope is if this match does go 4, maybe 5, that at some point Jewett's legs are going to start to tire. She's on pace for 70, 80-plus attack attempts in this match, and we're only in the second set.
Here's another one for her. Beacons keep it alive. They set to the center, and Sclaver's there. You put so much focus on Jewett on the outside. Sclaver, who hits better than 300, can beat you on the inside. 2 points away for Bowdoin here from evening this match up at 1 set apiece.
Well, Bill, why do you think Slaver's hitting over 300? With the player of Jewett's talents, it's going to give other hitters really good chances. You just have to be able to consistently finish.
Boyer fights it through the block and pulls the Beacons back to within 2. Now, throughout this whole set, even when Bowdoin's been struggling with errors, they've sided out really well. That helped them build the 5-point lead earlier. Beacons need to prevent a side out here. And Clavin gets the ace. Well, that's one way to do it.
So lack of communication. Albright and Darty looking at each other, both in amazement. Both players easily could have gotten there. Neither player went for it because they thought the other was going to. Both teams having struggles with communications at this point in the season. That's unacceptable.
Bowdoin takes timeout. We'll keep it here during this timeout. It's been a good back and forth match. Beacons led in set 1 at 1 point, 16-8. Bowdoin had turned it around to lead 23-19 in that same set before UMass Boston fought off 3 set points, came back and won 29-27. Here in the second set, Bowdoin's had a lead as big as 5. Beacons have had the lead as big as 2. And now a couple points in a row for UMass Boston to pull back within 1. Seth, from what you've seen from these two teams so far, over these next few points, what do you think make the difference in this set and possibly the difference in this match? Because if the Beacons go up 2-0, they're in great shape.
Well, I think you start with errors. Whichever team can minimize the errors, not give the free points the other way. But with Julia Murphy out there for UMass Boston, she's got to be the hitter you go to. You have to find her, draw the defense her way, and then maybe open it up for Jody Muchback and Blair Boyer. On Bowdoin's side, Christy Jewett is your big horse. Ride her to this second set victory. Get back into the match. You have to go with your big boppers in a match like this where the defense has been very good.
Jewett's up to about 40 swings already through the first 2 sets. About 41. It's dug out. Murphy the tap, and it's wide. That was a big chance for the Beacons, getting the dig off of Jewett's swing. Instead, a couple of set points coming up for Bowdoin as they try to knot the match up at 1 set apiece.
Awkward little hit there from Murphy. Really didn't have much of an angle. And that set, it was there. It just wasn't the greatest look.
There's Boyer getting the kill. Fighting off 1 of 2 successive set points. Beacons will need to work it again as a side out can win set 2 for Bowdoin.
And look for Pepper Baker here to be very conservative with the serve. Get it over. Keep her team in the set rather than going for an ace.
Here is Baker, who has 2 aces already this set. Drops this one in. Jewett swinging for the set. And she drops it down off the block. Bowdoin knocks things up at 1 set apiece. Well, they rode Christy Jewett to that set 2 win. 25-23 in set 2 after the Beacons took set 1 at 29-27. So we're no closer to finding a winner than we were when we started as we head to set 3 here on LittleEast.tv.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
And we're on to set 3 here at the Clark Athletic Center in a rematch of the 2012 East Regional Championship. We're knotted up at 1 after 2 sets. Beacons started really strong, winning 29-27 in set 1. Set 2 to Bowdoin 25-23 as we take a look ahead. Looking ahead for the Beacons here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Next up, UMass Dartmouth, a road trip set in Little East play where the Beacons look to stay undefeated in conference play.
Yeah, well, UMass Boston, UMass Dartmouth, it's a rivalry, but it's a pretty one-sided rivalry. UMass Dartmouth owned the Beacons throughout the 80s and the 90s. Terry Condon came around, and that changed real quick. The Beacons, though, the match they need to watch out for, Eastern Connecticut State next Tuesday, Western Connecticut State next Saturday. You sweep the Connecticut teams, you take the Little East Conference regular season crown, or at least a part of it, with Western Connecticut already suffering 2 losses. They were supposed to be the team to beat in the conference outside of UMass Boston. They faltered recently, losing to Keene and EastCon. EastCon might be the more difficult match for UMass Boston. That will be next Tuesday right here at the Clark Athletic Center.
And then the Beacons will look to keep up their run of recent success in the Little East tournament as well. 5 straight Little East championships for the Beacons. Looking at those stats after 2 sets, hitting percentages have flip-flopped. Bowdoin now out-hitting the Beacons 217 to 186. And how about Christy Jewett? 15 kills on 36 swings, hitting 361.
Bowdoin as a team hit 414 in the second set, an unbelievable number, especially against the defense as good as UMass Boston's has been.
Well, there's that good defense with Souza getting a block to start set 3. We've talked about it a bit already, but 36 swings for Jewett. First off, the fact that with that sample size, she's still hitting over 300 shows how great a player she is. But secondly, you got to think she'll start to tire as this match goes along. Service error for Munchbach, and we're knotted up at 1.
Well, and especially, I can't analyze Bowdoin's offense as well as I could UMass Boston, seeing it so much more often. But a lot of times players will go up and they'll fake like they're the recipient of the set to help out their teammates. So you're adding a lot of times jumping up as if you're going up for the swing.
On the 50-50, a joust win for Claire Geyer, who hammers it down. 2-1, Bowdoin. All the momentum in Bowdoin's corner after closing the second set strongly and getting back to 1 set apiece here.
Well, and Bill, we talked about one of our keys to the matches was creating a hostile environment. Part of creating a hostile environment is not making those mental mistakes the Beacons have consistently made with a lack of communication. Make it tough on the opponent, and that hasn't been the case in the second and third sets.
Now 3 points to 1 for Bowdoin after another error from the Beacons on the set. Passes have not been clean today for either side, but particularly for the Beacons making that second pass. Roca gets the set here, and Baker's into the net. Looked like that one was teed up well for Baker, and she just mishit it.
Already the 13th attack error for UMass Boston. Bowdoin with 11 themselves. Just a lot of errors overall between these two teams that are supposed to be a lot better than this.
Bowdoin out to a hot start here in set 3. A 5-1 lead for the Polar Bears out of the NESCAC. Now, I know it gets cold up there in Brunswick, Maine, but don't think you'll find very many Polar Bears in the Continental 48. There's a kill on the outside for Boyer. Beacon stopped the bleeding a bit. I feel like Polar Bears would be a much more fitting name for Alaska Anchorage or one of those Alaskan state schools.
Well, they do have the Nanooks up in Alaska.
There's a block, and it's out. To the point for Bowdoin as Haley Wall smartly played it off of the Blair Boyer block.
Then again, Stony Brook has the Seawolves. There's no such thing as a Seawolf.
The nonsensical fake names. Here's Glavin on the back with the free ball. They center it to Sclaver. Murphy the other way, throws it down for the Beacon kill. My favorite comes just up the river, the UMass Lowell Riverhawks. Again, no such thing as a Riverhawk.
And the NESCAC is full of very interesting mascot names.
Yeah, you got the Jumbos who were here at the Clark last week from Tufts.
The Lord Jeffs up at Amherst. The Eefs of Williams, which an Eef is a real thing named after a famous alumni, but the purple cow mascot, not quite sure about that one.
And the point goes to Bowdoin. I mean, you see purple cows whenever you drive out to the Berkshires, right? You know, you go out in the farm country. I know that's where your grape-flavored milk comes from, right?
Well, on a more serious note, Bowdoin needs to improve their play before they play Williams, the defending NESCAC champ. We've already seen them this year, a very difficult team. And the NESCAC coach is sitting just to our left, taking down some copious notes on this Bowdoin team. And I'm not sure all of them have been positive, although I'm sure she wouldn't have some positive notes about a UMass Boston team she's already seen and scouted.
Yeah, and Bowdoin's picking it up a bit here now. Another three-point run to put them up 8-3. Timeout UMass Boston here in set 3 on LittleEast.tv.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
UMass Boston's taking an early timeout here in this third set. Beacons won the first set 29-27, but lost set 2 25-23, and now 13-5. Bowdoin has an 8-3 lead here in set 3. Seth, what have you noticed being the biggest issues right now for the Beacons?
Well, keep harping on the miscommunication, but there's just too many balls falling to the hardwood in between players, and then UMass Boston, they're not setting well, and they're not necessarily finding their spots when they do get good looks. I mean, way too many times Beacons hitters have been hitting the ball into the net, off of the tape, not getting it over. That's just a criminal sin if you're a hitter to not get it over the net and at least force the opponents to block it down. And that the Beacons haven't necessarily played well since the midpoint of set 1. They survived set 1, but it's been about almost 2 consecutive sets now of poor play trying to hang on.
If they had another one of those into the net 2 points ago with Morrison, then the ace here for the talented Haley Wall, a junior from Agoura Hills, California. 7-point lead already. Make it 8 as that is returned to sender by Sclaver directly back into the face of Murphy.
And there's not much Murphy can do about that, but at least got it over, forced the block to get it down, and she has some words about with Baker about where she wants it next time, and that's what you need to do, adapt and overcome.
And the Beacons are into the net again. This set's getting out of hand in a hurry. A 12-3 set 3 lead for Bowdoin. The Beacons have had some big runs. A couple of 5-0 runs in the first set. They could really use one of those right now to get back into this one. Another really good serve from Wall. Beacons scrambling as Baker gets it over. And Sclaver the kill. Bowdoin's a runaway train here in set 3.
And Bowdoin has picked up their play significantly. They went down 16-9 in that first set. It looked like UMass Boston might cruise to a first set victory, maybe gain some confidence. And with their comeback in the first set, despite losing it, I think it gave them the momentum they needed to really start playing their kind of match. And it hasn't just been Jewett. It's been an entire team effort. Is this Bowdoin team, they're another team that's trying to get out of a little bit of a rut, and I'm sure this is a great confidence booster, taking the last set and starting off well here in set 3.
Haley Wall with the service error, but not before. A good run of service for Wall. You mentioned not just Jewett. Well, Sclaver's been the one to pick it up lately. She's up to 10 kills now as well.
And UMass Boston with 0 players over 10 kills. Blair Boyer leads the team with her 8 kills, but she also leads the team, had 4 attack errors in the first 2 sets. Not the greatest of ratios.
And there is Jewett again. There's no defending that. Good set, and Jewett just hammered it down.
Yeah, this has been one of the best individual performances for a player at the Clark all season long. Christy Jewett is taking over this match, and Bill, you talked about it a little bit earlier. If you go after Jewett with the block and really team up against her, it leaves Bowdoin's other great players open for their spots. If they put down kills, you really have no answer.
That was Murphy in rhythm there for the Beacons the other way. They love to get Julia Murphy going. She's had a relatively quiet night, at least for her standards. It's only the 5th kill for Murphy. Tight into the net, and the Beacons can't get there on the scramble. It was a joust, and Michelle Albright won the Battle of Wills.
Yeah, that joust, it's one where, I mean, joust by definition, it's a 50-50 ball, but UMass Boston let that ball come too far over on their side, 2 players there, and it was already going down before either player made contact.
How about the eyes by Glavin and Boyer on the back line there? That ball didn't miss by more than a couple of inches, but they both called it out, and the Beacons cut it to 9, though still a lot of meat on the bone. The Beacons want to get back into this 3rd set. And Albright is good on that kill. Stepped right into it the same way Jewett has been all game long on the outside. Izzy Davis and Claire McInerney, the 2 setters for Bowdoin, have both been having pretty strong passing games in the center as well.
Well, and Albright had a completely wide open lane, a single block that wasn't quite there in time, and a player like Albright is going to be able to finish that 9 times out of 10.
Bolin gets the kill. Again, she's been really strong in a small sample size today, Seth, taking it easy, nursing her back from injury, but has to make Coach Condon, Coach Houlihan over there pretty happy to see her come back so strong.
And Boland is the difference maker for UMass Boston in that it allows all of your players to feel a little bit more confident in that. Takes pressure off of Julia Murphy. Okay, we have another top hitter. It takes pressure off the secondary hitters. You don't have to do as much, and it gives UMass Boston that other players that defenses have to focus on. So Julia Murphy maybe has a little bit less of the pressure and a little bit less of the block to worry about.
Still right back to a 10-point lead for Bowdoin here. Bowdoin's just 8 points away from getting a 2-1 lead. Baker floats it. Here's Jewett, and she's long on that one. Had to take it from straight behind her. Would have been a really tough kill, and the Beacon block was smart to stay down there.
Oh, it's just the 3rd attack error from Jewett. That's a phenomenal rate, 15 kills to 2 in the first 2 sets. I mean, that's something that if you can get match in and match out, the rest of your hitters, all they have to do is just find the open spots.
Here's Jewett again, off the block. Murphy can't put it away. In the center, that's out off of Geyer. 2 in a row for the Beacons to pull back to within 8. Hey, you mentioned just the 15-2 after 2 sets. 361 on 36 swings for Jewett in the first 2 sets. That's really impressive from an outside hitter. And here's Jewett with another kill. Up to 17 tonight.
Yeah, got a little bit of help from the net that time as Pepper Baker was there on the block, but it went a little wide off the tape and down.
Here's Pepper Baker. Good dig on the back. Jewett puts it over, and that was out. To the left of the antenna. Might have even clipped the antenna on the way through. Point Beacons need to start stringing points together, down 8 relatively late in this 3rd set.
Well, Pepper Baker's one of those players who can potentially give you that good service run, as she's capable of piecing together a couple of aces in a row.
It's a good start, and Murphy gets it on a tee and hits the home run. Kill number 6 for Julia Murphy. You mentioned it for Baker. That was a great first serve.
Well, and it doesn't have to be an ace. If you can get the free ball, if you can get a return, an accidental return, then all of a sudden you open up your offense and make it a little easier.
Here's another one. In the center, that's down off a tip, and Sclaver has another kill. Beacons had the opportunity off of Baker's service, but a Munchback pass ended up clipping the net and throwing off the Beacons' rotation.
Yeah, that first pass has to be better from Jody Munchback. And, I mean, Pepper Baker did her job. Munchback nearly was able to keep it alive, but UMass Boston knows what they need to do, and they have to execute it. Right now, they're probably thinking in the back of their minds, we need to take set 4 because this set, Bowdoin's not going to slip it away. The Beacons are going to have to take it. And right now, the Beacons aren't showing the ability to take 4 or 5 points in a row without some Bowdoin errors.
Beacons down 8 here in set 3 on LittleEast.tv.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Late here in set 3, Bowdoin 19, UMass Boston 11. In a pivotal third set, Beacons fell behind early, and they're trying to claw back into this one from 10 points down now to 8, but they'll need a good run here after a side out to get back into it. Here's Morrison, and she's long with it. Just missed it long. Not what the Beacons needed. Down 9 with Bowdoin just 5 points away from winning set 3. Murphy finds the back corner. Not easy, not always the prettiest. Her swings aren't always big over the top swings, but she finds ways to redirect it where it needs to go.
Yeah, Julia Murphy is pretty much able to come up with any kind of swing anybody who's ever watched volleyball has seen before. Just has a tremendous array of different types of swings, and that time it's amazing she was able to get that ball down.
Brianna Kemp with this one. Jewett way long. That one just sailed off her right hand, and you wonder if the fatigue's going to start catching up here almost 50 swings in.
Yeah, and that's 2 swings in our past 3 or 4 that have gone way long. Not just a little bit, but 2 or 3 feet when you immediately knew it was destined to go long.
There she comes right back and gets the kill, so answers our question. But the first sign of fatigue, similar to in baseball when a pitcher starts leaving pitches high, shows fatigue. In volleyball, it would be starting to go long because you're not getting as much lift on your legs to generate that downward angle. Murphy mistimed her jump. And the dump is perfectly timed for Quincy Leach.
Yeah, Quincy Leach has done a great job, and that's a perfect example. The Beacons in disarray after that miscommunication between Baker and Murphy. They made it work, but it allowed Leach to have a wide open angle.
Boland, a good swing, but she's blocked. And then Morrison slams it down the wrong side of the net on the block. So enough on that one from Haley Wall to move Bowdoin to 2 points away from taking set 3. Murphy scrambling and long. Again, the sets just aren't on the money to her today. She's having to work really hard to try and get it over. It's set point for Bowdoin, and if they need it, they have 11 of them in a row. Morrison tries to put it away. Free ball for the Beacons. Murphy has it set up. Haley Wall. There's Boland off the block. And Albright finishes set 3. A dominating third set for Bowdoin at 25-13. So Bowdoin heading into set 4 feeling good here on LittleEast.tv.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Come on, Jake. As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal laid it. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
And we're back on LittleEast.tv. A lot of work to do for the Beacons here after falling behind 2-1. Alongside Seth Orensky, Bill Spalding here. Beacons were dominated in that third set, 25-13. Not the only game going on around the Little East. Let's take a look at the Little East scoreboard. Beacons still undefeated at 3-0 in the Little East. You can see Rhode Island College in action against Eastern Connecticut State in a conference matchup. And the Beacons' next opponent, UMass Dartmouth, taking on LaSalle. That one just got underway about 20 minutes ago. So Beacons will take on UMass Dartmouth on Thursday. Both teams will be working on short rest. Well, Seth, that third set just didn't go right from the start for the Beacons. First two sets were close. UMass Boston was never really in that third set.
And, Bill, you hate to look too much at the statistics, but Bowdoin out-hit UMass Boston by 303 points in the second set. They out-hit them by 357 points in the third set. Those numbers are incredible, and it just shows how much Bowdoin is gelling at this point and how little UMass Boston is able to do against Bowdoin's defense. The defense has been phenomenal. The Beacons have also been committing a lot of their own errors as well.
Well, here's another good number for you, Seth. Beacons have had 6 errors in each set, but look at these kill numbers. Set 1, 16. Set 2, 9. Set 3, only 6 kills. Just not going to get it done. See if the Beacons can bounce back here, take set 4 and force a 5th set. They try and grind it out against a team they beat 2 years ago in the NCAA East Region Championship. Remember, the Beacons last year had to go through some real growing pains during the middle of the season before turning it on in Little East Conference Tournament play and, again, advancing all the way through and winning the East Region.
Well, this is the third consecutive season the Beacons have been through growing pains. Even the 2012 team that had Shannon Thompson on it, one of the top players in Beacons program history, had their issues. The last time the Beacons have had a nice, easy, steady season was back in 2011 when they lost just 5 matches, but their last loss came in the New England Regional Final as they fell to Springfield.
We start with an Albright kill here in set 4. That one's blocked by Bowdoin, and here comes a swing. It's Jewett, and she's got a kill between Glavin and Boyer. So for Jewett, 20 kills on the nose here, only in set 4 on 48 swings.
On the other side, Bowdoin, they went 2-0 against UMass Boston the regular season before falling in 5 sets against a very partisan Beacons crowd that made a difference, really stunned the Bowdoin team in the first set and helped the Beacons take a tight first set and kept UMass Boston going throughout that. This Bowdoin team didn't make the NCAA tournament last year, so both teams coming from different sides, but right now Bowdoin seems to be the team that looks like a perennial contender, where UMass Boston looks like the team that's coming off of a season without tournament play.
Here's Boyer, and it's blocked down. Give Bowdoin another point. Bowdoin's probably one of the last teams kept out of the NCAA tournament last year. 23-7, playing in that very tough NESCAC conference. Advanced to the finals where they lost to Williams, one of the top teams in the region all year long. Didn't get that at-large bid they may have been expecting. Baker's blocked. That's a really tight set, and the Beacons can't do anything with it. Continuing to make errors early here and falling behind 4-1 in set 4, a must-win for the Beacons.
It's just following a similar pattern. Bowdoin is coming up with their kills and then peppering in some UMass Boston errors. The Beacons haven't played a consistent 10 or 11 points of volleyball since the first 15 to 16 points.
That's Blair Boyer, who's been the best player for the Beacons so far today. 10 kills, just 4 errors for Boyer, who's hitting better than .225. Here's Glavin. Important for the Beacons to string a couple points together and not let this set get out of hand early, as Sclaver gets the kill in set 3. About 10 points in, it was already a 5-point lead for Bowdoin, and it just ballooned from there. Already a 3-point lead for the Polar Bears here in set 4.
And that's Sclaver's 10th kill. That shows the depth on this team. 2 players with 10 kills or more already early in set 4.
Murphy can't put it away. Here's Jewett, and she's long on that one. Tried to cut it across the court. Couldn't clip the line. 5-3, Beacons down by 2. Must win 4th set. Started off this match so well. They were up 16-8 in the first set. Had to hang on to win that set 29-27. Dropped set 2, set 3. Dominated a 25-13 win for Bowdoin. And here in set 4, a Bowdoin lead. That's a lift on the setter, Leach. So give the Beacons 2 points in a row, and they're right back within 1. Beacons go back to Little East play on Thursday on the road at UMass Dartmouth as Baker sends this one over. That swing is killed. Sclaver again, her 11th. Beacons take on UMass Dartmouth on Thursday. Then next Tuesday and next Saturday, you mentioned it, the Connecticut contest, Eastern Connecticut and Western Connecticut, both right here at the Clark. Then 4 road games for the Beacons before Little East Conference tournament play. Wall long on that one. So give the Beacons a point again, and they stay within 1. So doing a good job after the early onslaught here in set 4 of treading water and fighting back into it.
Yeah, nice read there by Jody Munchback. That ball just barely went long, and she was able to watch it by.
Quick 1-2, and Sclaver has kill number 12.
Well, and that's a great job by the setter. Okay, Sclaver has the first kill. Let's feed her again, and now let's draw the block back to Sclaver and open up Jewett. And the Beacons have to probably key in on Sclaver after 2 of the past 3 points went off her hand and down for a kill.
That setter is Quincy Lynch, who's over 400 assists on the year. Service error coming at a bad time for Katie Doherty. It's one area where Bowdoin still has not been very clean today. 11 service errors through the first 3+ sets. Beacons have been better there, only 6 service errors today. Battle at the net, tapped over and just out. Bree Souza almost clipped the line. Instead, it's a 2-point lead for Bowdoin.
And it's interesting, Terry Condon, and the bits and pieces we can hear her yelling from the bench as Patsy Bowen really struggled on that service reception. She's yelling words of encouragement. Normally, Condon is very silent. She'll yell some instructions, some fixes she wants to see, but she's being a little bit more positive because I think she knows her team's mental mindset could be a little bit better right now. They're really struggled to stay focused through their last 6, maybe 7 matches.
It's the best swing Morrison's had all match as she puts that one away, pulls the Beacons within 2. You make a good point because this is a Beacons team with a group that's used to winning, so to have the bit of a rough spot that they're in right now, especially the way it's kept on going today, you're not quite sure where the psyche's going to be. Roca with a great dig. Roca digs it again. 3rd try for Bowdoin. Off the block, and the Beacons keep it alive. How about a 4th attempt? It's a tough set, and Roca gets the dig. Here's Boland. Off the block and down. Boland again, and she puts it away. The Beacons had no business winning that point, but they scrape it out and pull back to within 1.
I don't know if Patsy Bowen's first attack attempt ever went over the net. The referee gave the Beacons the benefit of the doubt as the ball was blocked back. But, I mean, if UMass Boston's going to get back into this match, it's going to be based off their improved defense as well as some improved hitting. And talked about the poorly timed service error for Bowdoin. Well, that's almost as bad of a point for UMass Boston as they had a chance to tie it.
7th service error of the match for the Beacons. Boyer plays it over. Here's Jewett. What a dig by Glavin. Patsy Boland off the block. Jewett again. Baker from the back puts it away.
And Pepper Baker earned that kill solely because of how much hang time she had. She went up, the entire defense came to that near side, still up there, was able to send it cross court as she drew the libero over towards the left side of the court, and that's a phenomenal play from the sophomore.
She needed that too, just 3 kills to 4 errors before that one. Right into the net goes Claire Geyer, and the Beacons are back on level ground in a must-win set 4. Here comes Jody Munchbach's delivery. Jewett is dug. Glavin runs it down. The Beacons keep it alive. But only for one more iteration as Geyer gets the kill. With some kind of dig, great effort by the Beacons, but they had to scramble just to get it back over the first time.
And that's a momentum shifting point. If it goes UMass Boston's way, you do so much to get back into the point. And then Munchbach, who's done so well on judging some of those line calls, completely loses her sense of where she was on the court. Beacons get the point back. Can they come up with some momentum? It's not 1 point right now. They need 3 or 4 to get Bowdoin back on their heels.
Beacons won the first set 29-27. Bowdoin won set 2 25-23. And set 3 25-13. Tied in set 4. Real scramble on this point. Here's Boyer. Sclaver gets another kill in the center, her 12th. Jewett was calling for it on the outside. The Beacon block started to go that way, and Quincy Phillips, made a very smart set there.
Yeah, and another instance of the ball catching the tape and changing the trajectory of the initial kill attempt as the Beacon's block was closing in, but more importantly, Emma Roca looked to have timed that and was in the right spot, and then it dropped well ahead of her because of the tape.
Murphy can't put it away. Here's Jewett, and she has another kill. I believe that's 22 kills now for Christy Jewett. 2 in a row for Bowdoin after the Beacons had tied it up.
And Bill, one of the things Bowdoin's defenses seem to do at least really well to me is the fact that on any of the soft little taps, they've done a great job of getting to the ball, having multiple bodies there, so the Beacons don't get those little easy points on dumps right into the middle of the court. And that's cutting down on UMass Boston's easy points. You don't win matches if you don't get the easy points. And right now, every point is a struggle for the Beacons.
Yeah, Murphy just missed the line there, so the Beacons find themselves down 3 again. They've been down by as much as 4 in this set. And that's an ace. Baker let it go, and it caught the back line. Haley Wall gets the first ace of the match, and the Beacons call timeout. Third ace of the match for Bowdoin. Nonetheless, puts the Beacons down 15-11 late in set 4 here on LittleEast.tv.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Four in a row for Bowdoin College to build a 15-11 lead here in set 4. If Bowdoin can close it out, Polar Bears will win this match. Rematch of an NCAA East Region Championship from a couple of years ago that saw the Beacons win their first of 2 in a row, their second of a 3- and 4-year stretch. It's been a dominant period of volleyball here for head coach Terry Condon and her squad, but they're searching for something now so that they can be ready for the postseason.
Well, and UMass Boston always seems to find that something. It's just really frustrating to watch as the Beacons go through these 2, 3, even 4-week spans where they play volleyball that's not up to the consistent level that not only the coaching staff expects, but that the friends, family, and fans of this program expect. And it's difficult to watch, but it's part of the process to get to the NCAA tournament and to be a team that knows how to overcome adversity. You have to go through a little bit of adversity, and the Beacons are very good at that.
Murphy got the Beacons kill, and here they are again. Baker sets it up. Boyer has to scramble. And Sclaver has another kill. 16-12 Bowdoin. And Seth, what you're just talking about, a lot of that really does speak to the kind of coaching job Terry Condon has to do every single year, along with Mike Houlihan, the co-head coaches for the Beacons. Find a way to get things well improved from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, as there's a big service error for Bowdoin.
Well, I think part of that is when you graduate so many talented players who are program-changing players, it's going to be difficult to replace them. I mean, Shannon Thompson graduated 2 years ago. She was one of the few All-Americans in program history. Cassie Hanneman, the best setter in program history, graduated 3 years ago. Last year it was Corinne Porter, along with Megan Pollock, who was the setter, Amber Clemens, who had had her best match in her career against Williams in the NCAA Regional Final. When you graduate such talented players year in, year out, it's asking a lot of new players or players who haven't really played a lot behind those players to come in and play at that same level. And sometimes it takes an entire season to be able to produce at that level in the postseason.
But the Beacons have found a way to do it and win 3 of the last 4 East Region championships. There's a block by Morrison, which pulls UMass Boston to within 2. Kirsten Morrison's worked her way into the match here in the 4th set, having her best set of the game.
Well, and Morrison had a couple of really nice matches over the weekend. Had a huge match against Emerson in the 5-set win. Played very well against Colby Sawyer as well. She's a player who hates this because as a senior, she doesn't want to go through these growing pains.
Patsy Boland with the delivery. Here's Boland again, and it's out. Just long. Goes to 17-14 Emerson. And if you're Morrison, you're also hoping you can run the season as long as you possibly can so you can keep yourself out of those tough basketball preseason practices and conditioning workouts as long as possible while playing postseason volleyball, as she's also a center on the basketball team.
Well, it all starts on the 15th for the women's basketball team and the men's basketball team. Hockey team starts next Monday, and yeah, the winter season just around the corner. And Morrison stands less than 30 points shy of becoming one of the very few players. In fact, she'd be the 7th player in program history to reach the 1,000-point mark.
And that's a wide hit, an attack error there for Patsy Boland, who has slowed a bit from her hot start the first couple of sets. And now it's 19-14. Bowdoin on top. Beacons want their second timeout. Beacons trail by 5, need to find something here to keep this match going on LittleEast.tv.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Bowdoin's on a run here, 4 points in a row for the Polar Bears, already leading 2-1. And now Seth Arensky 6 points away from putting this match away, which puts the Beacons up against the wall here.
Yeah, and UMass Boston has been behind the 8 ball since the middle of that first set. They've let Bowdoin really push the table, play the kind of volleyball they want, and UMass Boston's played reactive rather than being the active aggressor in this match.
Glavin, the missed touch. Beacons have to scramble and do get it over. Here's Glavin setting it up. Murphy taps it into no man's land. Morrison gets the kill. Now that point was not one you're going to put on a reel of textbook volleyball, but the Beacons get the scramble point.
Yeah, a lot of very quick hits, a couple of balls where it was 50-50 whether it was going to get over. But we keep talking about and harping about the Beacons' problems. Bowdoin's having issues of their own. They're not communicating. They're having players run into each other. Their passing has been much better than the Beacons, but it's not where they need to be to compete in the NESCAC. So if you're a Bowdoin fan, don't get too happy. And now there's a big complaint from the Beacons fans. They thought they had a bit of the block on that one that sailed long. And
I thought that was in straight off from Morrison, but
it was
in
close.
fact called out, and the point goes to Bowdoin. And that's big. It's a 2-point swing, which puts Bowdoin up 5 at 20-15. Bowdoin 5 points away from the match win.
Yeah, any chance for a comeback, you need to start stringing together points. That would have made it a much closer match.
That's off the block. Beacons get another block. In the center, Geyer puts it away. Found a hole in the Beacons' defense, and Bowdoin's 4 points away from a win.
And it's too often the Beacons' back line is just left standing there looking at each other rather than at least one player on the floor trying to get after it.
Geyer again. Here's Morrison. It's a tough angle. Albright is blocked. Baker goes over. Patsy Boland can't put it away. Albright off the block. Bacon scramble for it and keep it alive again. Geyer has Baker dig it. There's a Beacon block out. And a marathon point ends with Bowdoin inching 3 points away from a win. Well, doing it with Jewett on the back line as well.
Pardon. That kind of point is something both coaches are going to be happy to see, though. Neither team giving up on the point. It looked like UMass Boston lost it multiple times. Looked like Bowdoin might have lost the point at one point, and neither team giving up on the point, and then another unforced error there by UMass Boston.
Bad set up Albright to slam it down. 23-15. This one getting away from the Beacons in the fourth set. And that's an ace. Second time this set the Beacons have let one go as Quincy Leach gets the ace. Match point 1 of a possible 9 for Bowdoin. And there it is. It takes just one. Bowdoin wins 25-15, winning the last two sets by a combined 50-38, or rather 50-28. Dominating last two sets for Bowdoin. They win 3 sets to 1, 27-29, 25-23, 25-13, and 25-15. Beacons fall to 16-7, and Bowdoin moves to 14-5. We'll be back in a bit with the final scoreboard, stats, and more coming up on LittleEast.tv.
My name is Allie Greenberg. I'm an ice hockey player here. I'm a junior majoring in human services, and I'm part of the Key for Hope Foundation. We recycle the keys and stock food pantries with the money. I wanted to bring this foundation to the athletic department, and I believe we can end hunger starting at UMass Boston. I got started with the Key for Hope Foundation due to my father. He's the one who founded this program.
I said, what can I do with a classroom environment giving back? And everybody's got an old key, and keys are made of brass, and brass is a recyclable commodity. And thinking about how many children are in a school system and how far we can go with taking this to do something right for humanity, I started a foundation called Key for Hope, feeding others with the collecting of keys. In 2.5 years, we collected over 500,000 keys. And I'm excited about this whole opportunity because you know what? One key may not seem like much to most people, but when you collect the masses of keys that we've collected, it shows that there is an ability for people to get together and create what I'm considering our hunger fighting opportunity.
I did receive a non-athletic.
With Beacon co-head coach Mike Houlihan after the 3-1 loss. Coach, it started well today. Where do you think it went wrong?
I mean, it was good to see us start off well. We haven't played very well lately, and Bowdoin's a good team. They just started to pass the ball better, and they were able to run their offense, and we weren't able to keep up with our block. And I think that was a big difference in the game. Otherwise, I thought we played a pretty good game. It's just a matter of they turned it on when it needed to happen, and they ended up with a win.
Yeah, that second set was a big turning point where you guys came all the way back from an early deficit, scraped in front, and then Bowdoin ended up winning close there at the end. What did you think about the girls' fight today, especially a couple different times falling behind but coming back?
It was definitely good to see. I mean, game one, we went up big to start the game. They came back, but we still fought it out and ended up grinding out a win out of that. It was good to steal it. Game two, the same thing. We went down and we came back and we almost stole another one there, and that would have been a big difference in this game. But again, I mean, the girls did. They fought hard, and they really understood that it's not exactly about the result, but how we played it. And we played all right, and we just have to work on a few things in practice and continue grinding out the season.
And you guys always schedule tough, and of course, Bowdoin, one of the better teams in the region as well. So even without getting the result you want, how does a game like this help moving forward?
I mean, it just shows us that in sets 1 and 2 we can compete. I mean, that's really what it's about, and it's just preparing us for later on. We have some big conference games coming up, and it's important that we pay emphasis to those, and we use these games to learn and see really where we are. These are milestone games that allow us to track where we are in the season, and it's not necessarily about the wins and losses, but more about who we are right now and what we need to work on before it comes tournament time.
Yeah, and I'll let you go on this. You just mentioned conference games coming up again. UMass Dartmouth just in 2 days. What do you look to work on tomorrow when you get that one day in between?
It's just kind of go with the flow and what we've been doing. I mean, we're going to go through a nice pregame that we're allowed to see really where we are and understand Dartmouth a little bit better. I mean, we always have a tough time traveling to Dartmouth. They took us to 5 a couple of years back, and that's something we remember, so we're not going to really take this one lightly and make sure that we can get in and get it done. We're going to work on a few things in practice that will allow us to do that and kind of see where we go.
And Coach Mike Houlihan, we appreciate your time.
Thanks,
Best of luck coming up on Thursday. We'll take a quick break, be back with the final stats here on LittleEast.tv.
Athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Come on, Jake. As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal laid it. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Wrapping things up here after the Beacons' 3-1 loss to Bowdoin. Let's take a look at the scoreboard there, Seth. You see the big turnaround came late in set 2. Just talking to Coach Houlihan about it. Had a chance to steal that second set. Instead, Bowdoin won it and then really rolled the last 2 sets.
Yeah, I think you could use that as the turning point. I think you could go back as early as that big Beacons lead, 16-8 in the first set. It had to go 29-27. That tells you something right there about how much Bowdoin needed to come back in that first set and how successful they were. And I think that set the tone for the rest of the match. But give a ton of credit to Bowdoin. They not only were the better team today, they showed a little bit more heart in getting back into that first set and then putting UMass Boston away successfully in 4.
As we take a look at the team stats, you'll notice a couple things that really jump off the page. First off, hitting percentage, almost 150-point difference. 9 blocks as well for Bowdoin, and those 56 kills to 39. That shows you 3-1 by pretty easy fashion, all on one page right there.
Yeah, one of the few numbers you didn't say, the 50 assists to the 36 assists.
Yep.
I think the setting was just a lot better on the Bowdoin side. And it's not all on the UMass Boston setters. If you're not getting good passes, it's hard to make good sets. But the passing has to be better. The setting has to be better if UMass Boston is going to get back onto a roll like they did in September when they went 12-0.
Best player for the Beacons today was Blair Boyer. As we take a look at the team leaders, 11 kills for Blair Boyer, and then Kirsten Morrison came on well at the end, hitting 200. But really the story of this game was the tremendous 1-2 punch for Bowdoin of Christy Jewett and Erica Sclaver.
Christy Jewett, just a phenomenal player. I'm sure she'll be on the All-NESCAC first team. It's funny, we mentioned that the Williams coach is here. Just seeing it now, Williams coach down there talking with the Tufts coach. So this was a match a lot of people showed up for. A great chance to really scout some tough competition. I know that just looking at Bowdoin's schedule briefly, that Bowdoin still has to travel to Williams. Not sure if they've already faced off against Tufts, and they have earlier in the year. It's a 3-0 win for Bowdoin. But, I mean, this match was pegged to be a big one, and Christy Jewett made it a lopsided affair. But give a lot of credit to Sclaver as well, being that second big hitter and taking away some of the focus from Jewett and taking advantage of some of the opportunities when she was all alone.
Well, as Coach Houlihan said, it's on to the next one for the Beacons as we look ahead to conference play picking back up on Thursday. Beacons head out to take on a really tough UMass Dartmouth squad that took them to 5 sets a couple of years ago. That's what Coach Houlihan was talking about. Game the Beacons will think they have a good chance to win and need to win if they want to factor into the Little East regular season conference championship.
Yeah, it won't be easy as now we look around Beaconville for a second time. Men's soccer team a winner, women's tennis team a winner. We'll see about the women's soccer team that's playing right now. But a good day to start, not such a great finish for the volleyball team, as we'd like to give a big thanks to our production crew here on the Beacons Broadcast Network, as they did a great job today, despite some technical difficulties that were well out of their hands. But a great job by our crew, a great job by Bowdoin, as UMass Boston just didn't have enough.
Well, couldn't have done it without all the crew here. For the full crew here at the Clark Athletic Center, partner Seth Orensky, Bill Spalding signing off after the Beacons fall 3-1 to Bowdoin to drop their 3rd match in the last 5 here on LittleEast.tv.